Oh, I got some juicy news for you. Profit First app version 2.0 is here. With an enhanced user experience and video guidance throughout, you can now be even more confident in your Profit First implementation. Plus, listeners who work with a certified Profit First professional get extra benefits. Check it out now at www.profitfirstapp.com.
Today, right here, right now, this is the moment that you will finally say,
I'm growing my accounting practice, and you're going to discover exactly how right here, right now,
on the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ron Saharyan, co-founder of Profit First Professionals.
And I'm Liz Szporn, guide here at Profit First Professionals.
And I'm Mike Michalowicz, author of Profit First. And guess what? You're listening to GMAP, stands for Grow My Accounting Practice. We are here to teach you the step-by-step on exactly that, how to grow your practice if you're a bookkeeper, if you're an accountant, or a coach. And we do it through a great guest interview, including today's interview. Plus, Ron has insider access, something he's developed for our office we think you can use over at your office. And I have a GMAP Now task. The one task, if you do it, you'll see results by the end of this show.
Awesome, guys. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can find us on any podcatcher out there. Make sure you like and subscribe.
All right, Mike, let's talk about the money habit.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's what
I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you, there's a palpable energy. I'm inevitably excited about all these books, but I'm really proud that Profit First Professionals is introducing it to Profit First Professionals, the actual members, as a form of certification. And the book, as of this recording, has not been released yet, and we're already getting inquiries from people who want this guidance.
Well, time out. I think you're a little ahead. What is my money habit, and why are you so excited, and why am I jacked over it?
Well, because you keep calling it my money habit. It's called the
You
money
sure do.
habit.
Oh.
He just wants it.
I want it for me. My money
really
habit.
wants it.
My money habit. Yeah. I
My
like that. I
money
like that.
habit. That's
and
what
I
it
did
should
write
be.
a book called My Money Bunnies. So it's easy to conflate the terms. But it's the money habit. And the reason, let me tell you why I gave it that title and how it came about. And I would love your guys' feedback, because you guys have been on the periphery of observing this as business owners.
Yeah.
I got a call. This goes back, almost 3 years ago now, from a guy named Tommy Mello, who deployed Profit First. And Ron, I would dare say this ties back to you. This is just my belief, but he engaged the services of a PFP, I think, through a case submission, I think.
Okay.
So, and Ron, you direct those and channel those.
Yep.
He owns a garage door company, and they repair garage doors. And he calls up and he says, I deployed Profit First. And he goes, it's been transformative in my business. And he goes, I even translated it somewhat to my personal life. He goes, this has turned us from a check to check, this is my words, check to check survival to consistently profitable, top of industry. And he goes, but I found some interesting phenomena happening. Because my employees are worried about money. Now, they don't voice it, but they demonstrate it, sometimes going, hey, is there any way I can get an earlier raise? Sometimes can I even borrow money? But most people, and this is like, I think Thoreau said this, the mass of humanity lives a life of quiet desperation. And that ringing in our ears of worry is, for most people, rooted in some degree to finances. Most people are living a check-to-check survival. And here's the crazy part. It's irrespective of their income level. So the average income in the United States is $50,000 a year. If Liz, Ron, anyone listening in, if you or your family earns more than that, you're more than average. And people that are surpassing the average are worried about money. I have had stories and direct interviews of people that make 7-figure incomes who are living check by check, which sounds absurd.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Tommy goes, listen, I got people on my team that I try to pay as well as possible, but I can only do so much before it'll start hurting my business. But he goes, I'm paying the consequence. If they're not making money, they're worried about it. And that worry comes to work. You can't be full in on work if you have to worry about if you can pay groceries or rent or whatever it is this month or year. So he goes, I read the Profit First. I want this for my employees. And I've always been doing this system, guys. I just, for the first time, said, okay, this is the request to manifest this or codify it into a book. This was the funny part. You know, he has a garage door service company. I thought he maybe had 3 or 4 employees. So I said, Tommy, how many folks are you talking about? Like, is it 3 or 4? He goes, no, it's about 900. It's 900 people.
Now I know who Tommy is.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You remember this case? Wow. 900. They're it's called A1 Garage Door Services. They're the largest.
Montana, right? Or Wyoming? Something like
that feels right. It feels right. Somewhere in the Midwest. And he goes, I got 900 employees that I want to serve. And they brought me in with our colleague who worked with us at the time, Rachel Werner. We went in and we started the first 30 people on the program. It became the beta. And they subsequently have integrated the Money Habit, which wasn't called that at the time, but they've integrated it into the coaching guidance they give to their team. The transformation was phenomenal. And the most interesting thing is the transformation didn't require a single person making more money. So this isn't about making more money. It's about taking more control. And fast forward, we did it with other organizations. John Briggs's company, he's got 250 employees at the time. They asked me to come out, teach their own company. They're in the accounting space. These are money people. And they had challenges that we were able to resolve. And this is how it came about.
And it's needed. And how I know it's needed, because when I was in staffing for 15 years, and executive staffing, high-end staffing, paying people at a minimum $25 an hour up to $250, $300 an hour. I was amazed at how many times people at that level were asking, can you front us a week?
Mm-hmm.
Can I borrow some money?
Yep.
I'm leaving this job for $2 more. I don't have the money. I need to take a loan. Even when I was working for a staffing firm, the internal employees were taking loans from the business owner for various different things.
Have you guys ever, this triggers a story or a question I want to ask both of you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard or felt that if I won a lottery comment, like someone sees a celebrity or an athlete who makes tons of money, and that person, and I've said this myself, if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't screw it up. Oh my God, my life would be perfect. And I call it the lottery win. Do you guys, can you relate to that or seen people say that?
Oh, 100%. I relate to it. I know I would probably do something different, but I know I'd still spend too much in some places and be like, oh, wait, shoot, where'd it go? Personally.
There's a contextual challenge. And the context we have that we're going into this with is I live a lifestyle on my current means, whatever that may be. Like, this is my lifestyle. If I had a large tranche of money, we cannot connect. There's a dissonance, or dissidence, I should say, between what we live now and what we see others living. And we say, well, my lifestyle is as such. I am living check by check right now and struggling to live check by check. But if I have that much money, all my worries go away. And it's rooted in your current context. What we don't realize is, based upon the Pareto principle, something we talk about in Profit First, is our demand will expand to meet the resources supply. So more money comes in, lifestyle expands instantly. If you don't have control and authority over your money at any standard that you live today financially, you are a fool. You're living a fool's folly to believe that more money is your solution. More control, more authority over your current money is always the starting point. And that's why we did
this a book on budgeting?
Great question. And I take pause because I want to say no, because I think budgeting, we think spreadsheets and so forth, but I also want to say yes, because it makes budgeting inherent. It's like saying, is Profit First about budgeting? No, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
No, yes.
Right.
Because the Money Habit is rooted in the exact same principle, is we have to have a commitment device. So in behavioral psychology, if you want to make a change, if any of us want to make a change in our lives in some capacity, the best way to make a change is to not change, but insert something in your current behavior that catches your attention and redirects you. Guardrails.
Yes.
You log your bank accounts. Profit First is a commitment device because you keep logging to your bank accounts, but now your money is separated into these different accounts prior to utilization. So there's a conscious awareness.
Yeah.
The Money Habit is reading the same thing. So yeah, there's a budget.
Okay.
And there's a budget for your essentials for living, for the mini luxuries in life, for the larger, maybe long-term visions.
That sounds like you're giving permission to spend, which a lot of budgets are more restrictive. So the fact that you're giving permission to spend is a great thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah. There's some personal finance systems out there that are all about deprivation.
Right.
And basically the essence is if you're willing to deprive yourself today and stick with it for the necessary period, you will live a life of extraordinary success that no one has in the future.
No pain, no gain.
But the real reality, that's like flogging yourself. It's like this, if you keep on beating yourself up enough, and it's human nature, is that if we deprive ourselves of something, it actually builds craving. So how do you balance small reward so that you stay engaged, but also a disciplined approach toward future preparation, whatever that may be? And so the money habit, what I did as I was writing it, and it's based on so much research we've done with Profit First alone. I mean, we have 1.1 million businesses in the world estimated doing Profit First. We have tons of feedback, and I've personally been engaged with so many of these folks that have deployed it.
Yeah.
It's these same principles applied there. You have to have reward. You have to have profit distributed to keep the shareholder engaged. You have to have some luxury to keep the home financier engaged.
So now I'm listening to this, and this is great. I've read Profit First. I get Profit First, but the biggest difference, okay, between me and me is if I'm a W-2, it's hard to increase margin, right? And so I know with a business owner, I can do a margin increase. I can do a sale. I can get other revenue coming on in here. Are you asking people to go get raises in order to do this?
Well, if you can, that may help.
Right.
That may help. Like I'm
know.
not dissuading
Right.
anyone from asking for their worth.
Right.
Now, the employer you work with may not be able to afford your worth, but then that gives you the opportunity to pursue your worth elsewhere. So I'm never denying that. There is that balance. But the first thing I need to acknowledge is that there are two common income sources paths, and there's more, but the two common ones are a form of self-employment, ownership of a business, and so forth, that generally results in a far more volatile income. And Ron, you and I have lived this together, right? There's times like in the early lean years, it's freaking scary lean. And you're paying salaries for other people who are taking the other path, which is employment for someone. And so they have predictable income and the owners have to sacrifice themselves. Now, there's the boom years when business is going, but then there's also the careening, struggling years that happen again and again. And so there's this fluctuation. So Profit First is written for a common experience as peaks and valleys for income over periods of time. For employees, the W-2 equivalent or whatever, there's generally a more predictable income stream. Now, the risk of being an employee is you're at the risk of being terminated. So you have a boss over you that can simply say, I'm sorry, we can't afford you anymore, or we don't want to afford you anymore. And you can lose your income immediately. So you can have that downside very quickly, but that's not that frequent, but it does happen. But the other thing is you don't have the upside. You don't have the, hey, we have a boom year. Congratulations. You're making all this additional money. So with predictable income comes the benefit of predictability, but the downside of you don't get those upside gains. So the money habit was written around those two scenarios where there's this fluctuating, and it's not just owners of businesses. You can be a commissioned employee, salespeople experience that. You can be on the gig economy and you crush it for a month, driving Uber, and then your car breaks down. And so you're experiencing those peaks and valleys. So I wrote the book to address both, but to answer your initial question, do you ask for a raise? You first have to master your money, because that's what most people do. Most people push for, I need to make more and I'll fix this. But the thing is, you need to fix it before you earn more.
The Jedi, there's a little Jedi in that. You fix it first, get the raise, and then put that raise towards something else to make it grow. Yeah. But
perhaps. Yeah. We call it the wedge in Profit First. And the wedge is is say my business this year earns $100,000. And I'm putting away, say, 10% of that money to profit. So, these may not be factual numbers, but just in theory, 10,000 is going away. Next year, let's say I earn $150,000 in my business. Well, the wedge is we can say, since you earn 50,000 more, let's take another 30,000 of that and tuck that toward profit. So more aggressively in profit, but noting your business is now benefiting still from an increase from 100 to 120. So you can more aggressively, in this case, save or allocate profit by kind of taking that chunk out first. The wedge, you keep expanding. So as more income comes in, you expand it out. That works for personal finances too. If you want to save more aggressively, and I believe there's seasons, I don't think saving is the right thing at all times. In fact, there's an extraordinary book called Die with Zero that I didn't want to like, but I love. Because
okay.
I always thought, my mom and dad told me, when you turn 60, whatever that magical number is, 67 or whatever the magical retirement age is, then you're going to live off the savings. And I witnessed that with my parents. The reality for our generation, what we're experiencing, Liz being a little bit younger, is we won't necessarily retire at 67. We may choose never to retire, or we may choose to take a break earlier. Ryan, we have had conversations about what's it like in your early 50s, perhaps to take a retirement for a period of time and re-engage. Or what if you have children that this is the last time you go to Disneyland with them, and it's going to be a blowout year before that 18th summer goes by and they're off to college and you're never going to see them again. So there's times to activate funds. So we go through this seasonality. We as employees, if you have a predictable income, can insert a wedge. Every time you get a boost of savings, instead of that instantly going to an enhancement in your lifestyle overall, you can take a portion of that and put that chunk toward future funding of some activities like those.
Wow. Awesome.
love
I'm
it.
excited. You know that.
too.
I mean, to be blessed with reading the manuscript, it's one of your best books. It's, if not the best one. It's something out there that everybody needs to read and digest. And like I said on the other podcast that we have, there's a lot of knowledge out there. But the thing about your writing is it makes it doable.
Yeah.
Right? Doable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so this has been in the works ever since I've been truly doing this at home ever since I did Profit First and started deploying that. And then as we built the company Profit First Professionals, it was clear that personal finances needs to be addressed for the entrepreneur. Like if your home is struggling, your business is crushing it or just doing well, your home will leech off your business. And the reverse is true too. I've seen people save for their future and prepare so well, but the business is dying and the retirement fund gets eaten up. And that's
my experience is messy home, messy business, messy home.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's a beautiful phraseology.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the certification a little bit? So it lives under Profit First Professionals. And why did you go that path again?
So it's interesting. I'm going to preface that with just one little important factoid. As I've been doing tons of interviews. In fact, I did like 4 or 5 this morning around the money habit. And the most common question is, what system does this replace? Like, is this, Dave Ramsey's system? Like, he's got a really cool system. Is this different or better than Dave Ramsey? Like, which one should I use?
Yeah.
And the money habit, like Profit First, it's an umbrella system. It sits at the foundation and covers everything else, but works in conjunction with it.
Love it.
So YNAB or Dave Ramsey's work, or there's this guy I love, Justin Bennett, who's doing tons of work out there. You got to explore this guy. All these personal finance systems, Rocket Money, I don't care what it is. They all work with the money habit because the money habit is at the foundation, at the root, which is at your bank accounts. Just like Profit First works with QuickBooks, or Xero, or FreshBooks, or whatever you choose. Yeah, exactly. So why certification? Well, what we are inviting accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches to do is to realize, as Ron shared, I love that, messy business, messy home, messy business. We need to work with the duality of finances that entrepreneurs experience. So the first is, if you're doing just Profit First for a business, you might be missing a messy home, and that is going to mess with the business. So part one is you can help entrepreneurs. The second one is the Tommy Mello story. They have a collective of employees that have this ringing in their heads, this worry about finances. And it is the problem of the entrepreneur. And therefore, you can provide the solution. Speak with the entrepreneur and say, listen, I can serve and educate your team and give them financial acuity and strength, because with clarity comes control, with control comes authority, and that's financial independence.
I love it, man.
The thing not necessarily to do, but you could, is to go after all these individuals. So Ramsey's organization, which is fantastic, has this program called ELP. And famously, I know they would go to, and they still do, work with congregations of a church or something like that, and go there and say, listen, I can work with you individually. And that is a powerful and necessary thing. But it's a one-to-one path. And Money Habit Mentors has been built that we can do a one-to-many because it's a foundational system. The education is very quick. You don't need to guide and coach individuals for years. It's not the therapy component that is necessary for personal finances. And that's why I think it works so well in concert with Rocket Money and Dave Ramsey and so forth.
It's unbelievable. I'm excited because if you're listening to this and you're a profit first professional, now you can help your staff, get this. You own a business, your staff can. I mean, it's man. Talk about a retention tool too. In addition, on when you're doing a job description, we believe in fiscal responsibility, fiscal education. We have programs internally within our organization that help our employees retain, have financial clarity, and are able to live the lifestyle that they want. That's what an owner bringing to their organization. That's all phenomenal.
There's an interesting study about quality of life, and there is a dollar amount. I don't recall what it is.
40 million.
I don't know if it was that number. There was a number that in this study said that your quality of life measurably improves and therefore your happiness factor until 40,000 or whatever it was. What it tied back to is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And they said, as long as your physiological needs are met, food, water, shelter, there's a certain level that money no longer amplifies it. So what's interesting is when an employee of your organization, for example, asks for a raise, behaviorally, it's unlikely they're going to associate that raise with any quality measurement, improvement in their life. And so therefore you give a raise and you feel, okay, I was able to do something for this employee that they wanted, and there's no thank you. I mean, maybe they say it, but subconsciously there's no thank you. Really, the only thing that a raise does behaviorally is I got what I deserved or you screwed me. And so we're at a risk. Where the appreciation comes is the management of money. So we have an obligation, and if we can afford it, absolutely, as owners of a business, to afford a better lifestyle for our employees, is to give them the money. But that won't work absent a financial management plan.
Yes.
And that's why we got to do that package.
So it's basically like giving my brother $20 and expecting him to do something different with it.
Exactly. It's going to go right to porn and ugly things. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I'm making it up. That was more
but this is a great thing for a business. This is the kind of stuff that I want to implement, right? As a business owner, because one, it makes me feel good. Two, it's helping out the staff. And when the staff feels good, the staff is having fun. It's a better company.
Yeah. And one last thing, because I know we got to start wrapping things up. Yeah. What was interesting about Profit First is how many business owners have tried to translate it to their personal finances.
Yeah.
And while in my heart, I always felt it's easy, intellectually, I realized it's different and it doesn't translate directly. In Profit First, I pay homage to Profit First Life, living it independently, but the practical, tactical components weren't there. I think now we as Profit First professionals have the full suite of someone's fiscal health with the money habit.
That's amazing.
There you go.
I have one more question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
I could have made this up many years ago. I recall in my memory that you said, when I write a personal finance book, I'll be done. Is that true?
I'm a liar if I did.
Yeah, I don't know why I remember that, but it's so weird to me. And I remember being like, yeah, that makes sense, because it'd be like the full arc of everything. And then you go straight to horror like Stephen King.
Yeah. I don't, that's a great question. I will tell you this. I do feel done in the moment. I had my first inkling of, oh, here's the next thing I got to do. But I also had this emotional struggle. Like, I don't want to be the life coach guy or the life guru or motivational speaker dude. And I want to serve entrepreneurs deeply. I have signs. I have one in my own office right here. It says eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. I'm so on that mission. And I'm like, I'm not serving them. And then I do a little meditation, and meditating, and you try to clear yourself of thoughts, which ironically opens up new thoughts. Yeah. And all of a sudden my mind says, look at all of the successful entrepreneurial authors. So I Google it, and all of them are listed. And like Tim Ferriss was one of the first ones listed. There were some other authors. To the person, they wrote some entrepreneurial space books, but then they went into the personal space that expanded the entrepreneur. And those personal books, like Atomic Habits, is considered an entrepreneur book. I'm like, that's nothing about entrepreneurship. It's about habits. but it's attributed to the entrepreneur thing.
Yes.
So I said, oh, of course, the entrepreneur is a holistic, it's a human too. We are humans too. So I realized, oh, maybe this is an expansion of the entrepreneurial endeavor and not a trade-off. And so that was something I've been struggling with. And maybe that's why perhaps I did say that comment. If I ever go personal finance or whatever, I'm done. And that, opinions change. And
no, that's fine.
My opinion may have
great.
shifted.
I'm glad. I'm glad that the answer is no. to be honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I don't know what's the next one. I do know this, the money habit. It's an all in, get the word out mindset for at least the next 365 days, which is atypical for me. Usually when the book is out, the next morning I'm writing and I'm not.
I've never
I was going to say, I feel like I've been through this with you 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah, you've been on the journey.
Yeah, but that's what it felt like. You're like, and we're done. Next.
Ready? I've never asked you this question. Have you ever considered writing anything other than business books? Like, I know you were a big Dungeons and Dragons fan growing up.
As a kid, yeah. You mean like other than like nonfiction books? Like
fantasy, a novel, like a book.
Yeah, a fiction-oriented book or something like that, or biography.
Not a biography, but like a story, like a book, like not a business book.
Okay, fiction. No, I did play with the idea in my head, and I'm like, those authors, talk about respect. I spoke with a fiction author. I spent some time with quite a few fiction authors now. I had no idea how hard that is. You have to build a book before the book. Like you have to have all the characters to find, and it's unbelievable,
and know where they're going and know what happens.
Yeah, like it is
building like 20 books within one book. Yeah, no thanks.
It is a multitude harder to write a great fiction book than it is to write a great business book. And I don't even know if I'm very proud of what we've done with the books. I don't think I've written maybe Profit First is the closest I've gotten so far, a book that's really been a book that is categorically authority. But I haven't written, where the where the crawdads sing, I was about to say. Did I say it right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just looking on
Is that on your bookshelf?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my bookshelf. Yeah.
Do you love that book?
Killing a Mockingbird. Yeah, no, these are books I'm reading. To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah.
Right.
Jack
Death of a
Kerouac.
Salesman.
Yeah.
I have all these books up here that I plan to read, because The Great Gatsby I just finished. Like that literature is unfathomable how good it is, and how that's lived on for, in some cases, centuries and centuries. Mm-hmm. So the answer is,
that's a great,
great
question. Great question.
That was a great question. That throws me. Yeah. I don't think I could do it.
Ron. Well, thank you, Mike.
I don't know why I've never talked to you about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. How can people? Where do people go?
If you want to purchase the book, the best thing is go to your favorite retailer in the US. Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, all the big ones carry it. But here's what I'm encouraging people to do: if you do have a local retailer, we got a bookstore called the Gingerbread Shop right here in Boonton. Go to your local retailer if you feel compelled. It serves them so deeply. They may have it in stock. And if they don't, they can get it shipped right to you, just like an Amazon would. And if you don't want to leave your house, go to bookshop.org, and bookshop.org does the favor for you. They call the Gingerbread Shop, order it for you, and ship it to you from these indies. So I'm really on this bandwagon of supporting indies, like I haven't in the past. So but go where you choose. It's everywhere, but support an indie if you are 50-50 split on where to go.
And where do they need to go if they want to become certified?
If the business is struggling financially, an entrepreneur will inevitably take it from their home. And if their home is strong financially and the business is struggling, the business will leech off the home. You have to nail it on both fronts. And that's why I wrote my brand new book, The Money Habit. It's profit first, translated into personal finances. And if you're an entrepreneur, now you have the 1-2 punch. And if you're an accountant or bookkeeper or coach, you have the ultimate offer of what entrepreneurs need. They need to nail the number everywhere. That's why we've introduced the Money Habit Mentors. It's part of the Profit First Professional Organization and available for you to get certified in. Go to moneyhabitmentors.com and get certified today.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much. This was a very
Mike.
nice conversation.
Great job.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you very much.
Appreciate it.
See you guys.
All right, y'all. See ya.